Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a visual revolution, and I mean a true revolution. We're going to look at how one single TV channel didn't just play music, it completely rewired the entire industry, turning musicians into icons and changing the way we hear and see sound forever. So, let's set the scene. Picture it. It's just after midnight, August 1st, 1981. A screen flickers on, not with a band, but with footage of the Apollo 11 moon landing. Then a voice cuts through with these simple, iconic words. This was the birth of MTV, music television.
And you know, the very first song they played? It wasn't just some random pick. It was a bold, almost ridiculously prophetic declaration of intent. Video Killed the Radio Star by the Buggles wasn't just a catchy tune. It was basically the channel's entire business plan laid out for the world in under 4 minutes. Now, to really get how seismic this moment was, you have to rewind and remember what the music world was like before this. It was a world where sound, and pretty much sound alone, was king.
Think about it this way. Before 1981, the goal was to be a radio star. After 1981, you had to become a video star. And the difference between those two? Oh, it was everything. This was the moment the industry pivoted from being built on what you hear to being dominated by what you see. Back in the radio era, your imagination did all the heavy lifting. You created the visuals in your own head. That's how you could have these massive, stadium-selling bands like Pink Floyd who were basically anonymous. Their mind-bending guitar solos and songwriting were the product, not their faces or their fashion. Musical talent was the only ticket you needed to get in the door. So when MTV launches with 24/7 music videos, it immediately creates this huge, and you could definitely say unfair, advantage for a very specific group of artists. The ones who were, by pure chance, already prepared for this visual world. And here's the thing. It all came down to a simple logistical reality. American record labels, they thought music videos were just a crazy expensive gimmick. But over in the UK, bands had been making what they called promo clips for years, just to get on shows like Top of the Pops. They had a whole library of videos just sitting there, ready to go. And this is what sparked what we now call the Second British Invasion. You had artists like Duran Duran, right? They weren't just playing songs. Their videos, with the yachts and the exotic locations, were selling a whole cinematic lifestyle. And then you had the Eurythmics, who gave us Annie Lennox's incredible androgynous look in Sweet Dreams. An image so striking, it's now impossible to separate from the song itself. But for all its innovation, early MTV had this glaring blind spot. It had built a pretty serious cultural barrier that, as it turned out, only the single biggest star on the planet had the power to tear down. So the channel's official story was that it was a rock station. But in practice, that policy became this, thinly veiled excuse for segregation. It effectively locked out the vast majority of Black musicians from ever getting on the air. And this did not go unnoticed. In this now legendary interview, David Bowie, an absolute icon, directly confronted an MTV VJ about it. He put them right on the spot, live on their own channel, and basically asked, "Why are there no Black artists on your network?" It was incredible. But the real tipping point, the moment the network had absolutely no choice but to change, was Michael Jackson's Thriller. I mean, the album was a monster, a commercial juggernaut, selling over 60 million copies. The videos for Billie Jean, Beat It, and that epic Thriller short film were global events. So MTV had a choice, play Michael Jackson or become totally irrelevant. They made the right call. So, if Michael Jackson kicked the door wide open, it was Madonna who walked right through and then drew up the architectural blueprint for the modern pop star that everybody else would follow. See, Madonna got something about this new video age on a fundamental level. The artist's persona was now the product. She really pioneered this idea of the aesthetic brand, using visuals not just to sell a single song, but to define an entire era of her career. And you can literally watch it happen with each video. You get the Like of a Virgin Bridal look, then she flips it for Material Girl with all that old Hollywood grammar, and then bam, Like a Prayer, where she used controversy to start a global conversation. She created this template of constant reinvention that artists from Lady Gaga all the way to Taylor Swift are still using today. So, as the 80s rolled on, the music video really grew up. It became a legitimate art form. But this also created a dark side, a world where having the perfect image could actually become more important than having actual talent. I mean, just look at this evolution. We went from these simple, cheap promo clips to full-on narrative storytelling like Aha's Take on Me, and then to straight-up surrealist art with Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer. Budgets just exploded. We're talking videos like Michael and Janet Jackson's Scream costing millions and millions of dollars to make. But on the flip side, this obsession with visuals led directly to the Milli Vanilli scandal. This was the moment of reckoning. You had a Grammy-winning duo who looked like perfect pop stars, but were then exposed for not singing a single note on their own records. It was the ultimate proof that style could completely and disastrously eclipse substance. After the total inauthenticity of acts like Milli Vanilli, a backlash was pretty much inevitable, and boy, did it come. In 1991, Smells Like Teen Spirit hit MTV like a thunderbolt. It was dark, it was gritty, it was raw, the complete opposite of 80s glamour. And the great irony? Nirvana used MTV to kill the classic MTV star, and in doing so, their anti-image became one of the most powerful visual brands of the entire decade. And this, of course, brings us to the legacy that we are all living in right now. I mean, MTV, the channel, doesn't play that many videos anymore, but its DNA is embedded in every single digital platform we use every single day. This table really lays out the whole journey, doesn't it? You can see the clear shift from the radio star, who was all about vinyl and vocal chops, to the MTV star, where the visual brand was absolutely everything. And now we're in the age of YouTube and TikTok, where it's all about viral hooks and a personal brand you have to manage 24/7. This right here is the direct result of the MTV revolution. That aesthetic brand Madonna pioneered has evolved into something much bigger. Today's artist isn't just a musician. They're expected to be a full-time content creator, their own brand manager, their own filmmaker, and a social media expert all at once. So the world that MTV created, this world of carefully crafted visuals and iconic brands, it's just the air we breathe now. It's the language of TikTok, it's the language of Instagram, it is the language of every single platform where image is king. We watched one dominant medium, the radio, fall to video. And that leaves us with one last big, provocative question. We know what killed the radio star. But in this new age of endless content and shrinking attention spans, what kills the video star?